The moment a woman decides she will never again beg for love, something irreversible happens inside her. It is quiet. It is invisible. But it changes everything. And when she comes back after that shift, she does not return as the same person who once feared losing you. She returns as someone who knows exactly what she is willing to lose. Many men misunderstand this phase. They assume distance means emotion has faded. They believe silence means she is confused. They tell themselves she just needs time. But research in relationship psychology tells a different story. When a woman emotionally withdraws, it is rarely impulsive. Studies on attachment and conflict patterns show that women tend to process dissatisfaction internally for a long time before taking visible action. By the time she steps back, she has already analyzed, endured, and recalculated. This is why her return feels different. In the early stages of love, emotional investment is often uneven. One person may tolerate more, forgive faster, or chase harder. Data from long-term relationship studies consistently shows that women are more likely to initiate difficult conversations about unmet needs. They attempt repair. They signal discomfort. They try to restore balance. But when those attempts repeatedly fail, a psychological transition begins. It is not dramatic. It is strategic. She stops arguing. She stops explaining. She starts observing. This shift is powerful because it moves her from emotional reaction to emotional evaluation. Instead of fighting to keep the connection alive, she begins asking a harder question. Is this connection worth keeping at all? When she walks away, it is rarely about a single incident. It is about patterns, repeated dismissal, broken promises, inconsistent effort. Behavioral research shows that consistency builds trust more than intensity. Grand gestures cannot compensate for chronic unreliability. Over time, the nervous system registers instability as risk. And once a relationship feels risky, attraction begins to erode. So when she leaves, she is not escaping love. She is escaping uncertainty. Now here is where most people get it wrong. They assume her return means weakness. They think coming back proves she could not let go. But the truth is more complex. If she comes back after truly detaching, it means she has evaluated her options and decided consciously. That decision carries weight. A woman who comes back after growth does not return to negotiate basic respect. She does not return to audition for your attention. She returns with standards sharpened by experience. Research on self-concept clarity shows that individuals who spend time alone after emotional strain often develop stronger boundaries. Time away forces reflection. Reflection builds identity. Identity strengthens commitment to personal values. When she re-enters your life, she is not hoping you choose her. She is deciding whether you still qualify. That difference changes the dynamic entirely. In the past, she may have tolerated delayed replies, vague plans, emotional distance. This time she watches patterns quickly. She notices effort. She measures consistency. Behavioral scientists describe this as pattern recognition learning. After experiencing pain linked to specific behaviors, the brain becomes highly sensitive to similar signals. She will not ignore red flags she once rationalized. Her commitment will shock you because it will not be emotional chaos. It will be calm certainty. If she commits again, it will be intentional. Studies on relationship resilience show that couples who reunite successfully often establish clearer expectations the second time. They communicate boundaries early. They define effort. They align values. Without those elements, reunions collapse quickly. She knows this. That is why she will not re-enter halfway. But here is the part few people prepare for. She is also prepared to walk away faster. Growth reduces fear of loss. When someone learns they can survive heartbreak, the threat of abandonment loses power. Psychological resilience. Research confirms that individuals who recover from relational pain often develop greater independence. They no longer stay to avoid loneliness. They stay because the connection adds value. So if she comes back and chooses you again, understand what that means. She is not choosing from desperation. She is choosing from strength. And strength does not tolerate disrespect twice. There is another layer most overlook. During separation, she likely rebuilt parts of herself that were neglected. She may have reconnected with friends, focused on work, strengthened routines, or explored interests she once sidelined. Autonomy increases self-worth. Self-worth changes relationship expectations. According to self-determination theory, humans thrive when autonomy, competence, and connection are balanced. If a relationship threatens autonomy, satisfaction declines. When she returns, she will protect that balance fiercely. You may notice she no longer over-explains her feelings. She states them clearly. You may notice she does not chase reassurance. She observes behavior. You may notice she invests steadily but not excessively. That is not distance. That is discipline. And here is the suspenseful truth. The shock will not be that she loves harder. It will be that she loves smarter. She will test consistency quietly. Not with games, but with awareness. Will you show up when it is inconvenient? Will you communicate when it is uncomfortable? Will you act aligned with your words? Research consistently ranks reliability as one of the strongest predictors of long-term relationship satisfaction. Passion may ignite connection, but reliability sustains it. If you meet her evolved standard, her commitment will be profound. Women who feel secure in a partner's reliability often display deeper emotional intimacy and loyalty. But if you repeat old patterns, she will not plead. She will not threaten. She will simply withdraw permanently because she has already practiced leaving. That is what makes this return different. The first time she feared losing you, the second time she fears losing herself. And she will not make that trade again. Many men only recognize her value once her absence creates silence. Behavioral economics calls this loss aversion. Humans react more strongly to losing something than gaining something new. When she stepped away, you likely felt the void, the reduced attention, the missing warmth. That absence clarified her impact. But her absence clarified something for her too. It showed her she could rebuild without you. So if she walks back into your life now, understand the gravity of that choice. She evaluated her pain. She evaluated your behavior. She evaluated her future. And despite having the strength to stay gone, she decided to return. That is not weakness. That is deliberate commitment. Yet commitment from strength is conditional on mutual growth. If she sees emotional maturity, accountability, and steady effort, she will invest fully. Studies on forgiveness and reconciliation show that genuine behavioral change, not apologies alone, predicts long-term repair. Words create hope. Change patterns create trust. This is why her commitment will shock you. It will not be loud. It will not be dramatic. It will be consistent. She will show up. She will communicate. She will support. But she will also expect the same standard reflected back. And if she senses complacency, the door will close quietly. No arguments. No ultimatums, just clarity. When she comes back this time, she is not asking if you love her. She is observing whether you are capable of sustaining love. There is a difference. Sustaining love requires discipline, emotional regulation, and reliability. It requires choosing the relationship daily, not just when it feels convenient. Her evolution forces yours. If you rise to meet her growth, the bond can become stronger than before. Research on post-conflict. Growth suggests that couples who successfully rebuild after separation often report deeper understanding and improved communication. Shared adversity can create resilience when both partners change. But if only one evolves, the imbalance becomes obvious quickly. So the real question is not whether she will commit. It is whether you will. Because when she returns with standards, self-respect, and quiet strength, she is offering a rare opportunity, not a repeat of the past, a redesigned future, one built on clarity instead of fear. And if you fail to recognize that shift, you will not get a third chance. She will not risk losing herself again.